Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. All right, getting ready to kick off game 2 of the Las Vegas Invitational tournament here at Las Vegas Ice Center. Kicking out the Gorman varsity production crew. All right, Gales playing game 2 for the weekend. Gales are currently second place in the standings, just behind the Las Vegas Ice Warriors Select, who are finish up their day yesterday with a 12-0 win over Tri-Valley Blue Devils, who the Gales will play tomorrow morning. Gorman coming off a solid win last night, 10-1 over the Utah Black Dogs. Have close to a full roster today. I believe Kincaid is still out, and Colin Davis is out today due to prior commitments for school. I believe James Schmier will be in net this afternoon. And we're just waiting for the Gales to take the ice. All right, getting ready to kick off the game with our starting lineups. Number 89, Dunnigan. Number 14, Jennings. Number 3, Martin. 16, Miller. Number 38, Shiberta. And Schmier in net. Number 50. All right. Mentioned before, we're down a center or two. See who we're going to have lining up today. It's like Jennings going to line up at center. Shiberta, Dunnigan on the wings. Martin and Miller at the blue line. Jennings in for the faceoff and wins it. Miller walks it up, sends it in on net, gloved and held. Faceoff from Gale's defensive zone. 15-minute periods. Shot on net by Shiberta, hits the goalie's pads and goes wide. Martin blocks it and sends it back in, hits the glass. Miller comes in, sends it deep into the corner. Jennings has it back behind the goal. Sends it back across to Shiberta. Shiberta gets a stick on it. So battling loose in front. Couldn't get a shot off. And PSD on the forecheck. Martin comes across. Miller able to come away with it. Send it through the center. And looks like, see what they're going to do here. Looks like Gales are going to go on the penalty kill. 44 seconds into the game. Like Martin heading to the box. Marsh. Crochet. Posner. And Evan Davis. Penalty kill. Prospects have it. They walk it up. Send it back into the corner. Send it back out to the point. Down along the wall. Back to the opposing corner. Crochet force checks. So it's forcing a shot. And shot from the side. Schmier able to get the save. All right, Cash Johnson in at center. Stepancic. Defense, same as last time. Shot wide. Stepancic pressing along and into the corner. Back behind the goal. Evan Davis trying to get a stick in there. Comes back around to the opposing corner. Posner gets a stick. Shoves him down. Stepancic gets in there. Comes back out to the blue line. Held. Fish back up. Evan Davis sends it to the opposing side. Stepancic's going to get there first. Gets hit along the boards. Cash Johnson dingles around. Gets poke checked. They sent it up, couldn't connect. It's going to be on net. No icing, and James is going to cover. 55 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Tritton in for the faceoff. Baldy in on defense, as well as O'Hara. Swanson in as the other forward. Shot from the blue line, Schmier with the save. Face off in the Gales' defensive zone. Left of Schmier. 46 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Tritton, face off shot. Hits the post and shot right off the face off by the center. Covered by Schmier. And coach saying out another defensive grouping. Posner and Miller coming in. 43 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Get a solid face-off win here. Comes back out to Swanson. Swanson gets it into the neutral zone. Gets it around the defenseman. Puck comes back out in the neutral zone. PSD walks it in. No offsides. Puck along the corner. Tritton almost picks that off. Is it traversed across? Miller sends a high. It's going to be a high stick. And Miller clears. 15 seconds remaining. Swanson comes off. Dunnigan in. The stick sitting on the ice. Tritton trying to keep him pinned back behind their goal. 4 seconds remaining. Break out the other direction. And that's going to be on net as well and covered. Miller shoves the forward out of the way. And we are back to full strength. 12-13 remaining in the first period. Jennings in at center. Martin back on the ice with Miller. Martin has possession of the puck, sends it to Miller. Miller sends it across, just out of reach of Dunnigan. Dunnigan trying to get a stick in there. Jennings gets tied up, neutral zone. Shot. James sends it wide. James Schmier sends it wide. Miller walks it back behind the goal line. Puts it into the corner. Comes back around to Martin. Shovels it up to Dunnigan. Dunnigan trying to chip it up to Schuberta. Martin again trying to find a breakout option. Sends it across. That's going to be an icing. Couchet, Marsh, and Swanson coming in. Evan Davis and Posner on defense. PSD wins the faceoff. Swanson presses up to the blue line, comes back out to Couchet. Couchet sends it to Swanson. Swanson breaks through the neutral zone, goes wide, got Marsh. Swanson trying to chip it around to himself, but picked off. Puck comes back out to Evan Davis. Evan Davis sends it out, trying to hit Marsh with a stick lift, though, to save it. Marsh sends it back around. Evan Davis puts a body on the player behind the net, and Swanson's going to bring it up. He's got Couchet with him, and Marsh, 3-on-2. Lobs it in. Who's back behind the net? Swanson working behind the net. Comes into the corner. Marsh with a big hit. Couchet stick lifted. And PSD nails it. And that's going to be an icing. Face-off coming back into the Gales' offensive zone. Creel, Tritton, and Johnson. Money line. Plus Baldy and O'Hara. Tritton wins the face-off, sends it back to Creel. Creel back to Baldy. Baldy walks it. Shot. Loose in front. Baldy with a shot between PSD players' legs. Goalie was not expecting it. Had to do a quick adjustment to cover. 10:34 remaining in the first period. Shots on net 5-3 in favor of PSD. Tritton wins it. Back to Baldy. Baldy shot. Tipped. Loose out front. And covered by the goalie. PSD wins the face-off here. Actually, it comes back. Baldy gets a shot off, hits the shin of a player, goes into the corner. PSD trying to clear it, and they do into the neutral zone. Baldy's going to chip it up. Tipped down by the PSD player. Baldy's going to send it in. The boys are going to get to work. Tritton in the forecheck. Puck comes around the corner. Baldy with a hard hit along the boards. Shot. And Schmier with the save. Correction. Score. PSD up 1-0. Jennings in face-off. Jennings shovels it up. PSD sends it back to Gale's defense. Miller trying to hit Schiberta. Tips it up in the zone. Schiberta able to glove it. Still in the zone. Comes back out of the neutral zone. PSD forecheck the other direction. Stick lift by Martin. Puck out to the corner. Miller sends it airborne. Glove down by the PSD player. Miller. Dunnigan now on forecheck. Martin gets a stop in the neutral zone. Schiberta has it. Sends it across to Dunnigan. Dunnigan sends it in just to the right of the net. Marsh is going to get there. Dunnigan trying to send it back to Marsh. Loose at the goal line. Schiberta. Sorry. Zepancic with a shot short side. Couldn't land it. Posner able to get a stick in there and send it the other direction. Zepancic shoveled it across. Up in the corner. Comes back around the opposing side. Evan Davis couldn't hold it in. Puck's coming back the other direction through the neutral zone. Boucher. Posner gets a poke check. Shot. High. Wide. Yes, he sends it back into the neutral zone. And they send it in. Posner has the puck back by the goal line. Sends it across to Evan Davis. Shovels it out to Boucher. Boucher trying to hit Zepancic. Evan Davis to Zepancic. Just out of reach. No icing. Puck coming back the other direction. Picked off by Baldy. Baldy sends it wide. Zepancic shovels it out. Still in play. James with a save. Puck loose out front. Another save. And Gales mail it across. Creel, hot pursuit. Johnson holding the line. Johnson couldn't quite pick it off. And no icing. James sends it back out to Baldy. Baldy across to Creel. Chips it in the zone. Comes back in the neutral zone. Boys trying to tag up. Creel brings it across. Shot. Loose out front. Goalie couldn't hold it. Cash and Cash working behind, and another Cash in the center out front. Creel trying to find a passing lane. Dingles around. Sends it back to Martin. Martin. Shot tipped by Johnson, but wide. Martin. A solid shot along the blue line. Johnson and Creel battling still. And it's like we're going to have a penalty. Tripping. All right, Gale's going on the penalty kill. Looks like Johnson heading to the box. Miller, Jennings, Schiberta, and Martin in for the kill. Jennings at center. Gales win it. And Miller sends it. Schiberta flushes him out. Puck come across to the blue line. Sends it across to the opposing side. Shot. Save. James Schmier. Face off in the Gales defensive zone. 6:15 remaining in the period. 1:41 remaining in the kill. Shots on net 9-7 in favor of PSD. Dunnigan in. Tries to get a stick in there. Rosner working on defense. Puck back behind the goal line. Evan Davis couldn't clear it. Comes back out to the blue line. Sent it in. Picked off by Posner. Posner sends it off the boards into the zone. Swanson trying to pick it off from behind. And PSD comes the other way. Could have been an icing, but not icing. Offsides, but not called. Evan Davis sends it and clears it. 1:03 remaining. Penalty kill. Marsh, huge pick, center ice, prevent the breakout. O'Hara with a stop, puts a body on him. Baldy has it and sends it across. 43 seconds remaining. Zipancic in. Player couldn't hold on to the puck. Zipancic trying to regroup and grab it. Marsh sends it in the corner, hits a PSD player in the helmet. PSD sends it across, hits the blades of Marsh and into the PSD bench. Stoppage of play. Face off in the neutral zone. Britton and Creel. Martin and Miller. PSD wins the face off. Bring it across in the zone. And shot at the blue line. Save Schmier. 14 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. 4:48 left in the period. Britton in for the face-off. PSD is able to come away with it. Sends it across the center, and it's going to come out of the zone. 5 seconds remaining. Creel in pursuit. Puck comes around the boards. Tritton almost picks that off. Dangles around. Player goes wide over to the boards. Sends it back out to the blue line. Able to keep it in, though. Gales at full strength. Get a stick in there to prevent a shot from getting off. Shot short side and wide. Couldn't hold it. Tritton tips it down in the neutral zone. PSD goes for a regroup. Sends it back out. Johnson gets a stick on it. Miller sends it out to Creel. Creel sends it in, goes for a change. Jennings in again. Evan Davis pitches up. Is able to get body in there. Johnson sends it in, goes for a change. Dunnigan and Shiberta in with Jennings. Shot just wide of the net. Dunnigan comes in. Force a pass. That's up to the blue line. Aiden gets a stick in there. Couldn't get a shot off. Picked off by Davis. Chipped off the glass. Hits the player's stick. No ice. Nope. Thought I heard a puck hit the stick. Ref was very slow to lift his arm. All right. O'Hara, Evan Davis, Dunnigan, Jennings. Sorry, Evan came off. Baldy in now. PSD comes away with the puck. Out of the faceoff. Baldy presses the player off the puck. Jennings gets it, sends it around the boards, trying to hit the winger. Baldy sends it around to Shiberta. Shiberta couldn't hold on to the puck. Shot. Just wide of the net. And going to be an icing. As the Gales get some fresh legs on the ice. Boucher, Marsh, and Swanson Your forwards, Martin and Miller on defense for face-off in Gale's defensive zone. 2:42 remaining in the first period. PSD up 1-0. Shots on net 10-7 in favor of PSD. No clear winner for the face-off. PSD sends it in and has to tag up. Martin working to control the puck at the goal line. Sends it across to Miller. Miller tries hitting Marsh. Miller sends it up. Glove by Swanson. It's like we're going to do a face-off center ice. The hand pass. Marsh in for the face-off. Yells come away with it. Crochet brings it in the zone. It's stick lifted. Still at it, their feet. Marsh tries to bring it around the corner. Sorry, folks. Bring it around the corner. Tries going short side. And stuffed by the goalie. PSD trying to send it across. They do. Miller chips it back up, though. PSD having a hard time getting in the zone. Miller bringing it up. Brings it across the blue line. Blocks it off. Sends it across to Marsh. Marsh with the stick lift trying to battle for it in the zone. PSD goes for a defensive regroup. Stretch pass, and that's going to be icing. Gales with another slow start in the first period. Yesterday, a very strong first period. A little slow in the third. Britton sends it back. Shot. Hits a player's shin guard. Comes the other direction. Evan Davis in pursuit. Evan Davis sends it around the boards. Johnson gets there. Brent dumping it in. Britton chips it up to get to himself. PSD is able to hold on to it. Sends it to neutral zone. Creel almost gets a huge hit. Evan Davis sends it in. Britton finishing the check. We got 1 minute left in the game. Sorry, in the period. Johnson walks it in. Shot. Hits the player and goes wide. Creel now sends it around the boards, trying to hit Johnson. Puck comes around. Yale's able to hold it. Britton shovels it back in. And looks like Creel is going to head to the box for slashing. .7 seconds remaining. All right, Jennings in for the faceoff. Yale's come away with it. Baldy sends it over. Dunnigan, the forecheck. 22 seconds left in the period. Dunnigan just almost gets a stick on it. Jennings able to get it there and sends it in the zone. 10 seconds. Jennings picks it off. Picked off they walk it in. Jennings with a hit at the buzzer. All right, getting ready to kick off the second period. Gales starting at the period at 129, remaining on the penalty, slashing. Start this out with Jennings, Dunnigan, Martin, and Miller. Martin in at center. Sorry, Jennings in at center. PSD comes away with it. Dunnigan, forecheck. Send it across center ice. PSD walks it in. It's pinned by Jennings. Sorry, by Dunnigan. Miller tried sending it in, but gloved. PSD walks it in. Jennings has it. Up off the glass, gloved at the blue line. Send it across to the opposing side, and Miller snatches it out of the air and sends it around the boards. Jennings almost picked that off. Shot. James Schmier with the save, comes back out to the blue line, hits Jennings. Jennings with a stop. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Send it across to the opposing side of the blue line. Shot. Tipped wide. But comes back out to the blue line. Dunnigan forces a shot, and the net is out of position. All right, Marsh in it for the faceoff. Gilberta, Evan Davis, and Bosner. Gales win the faceoff. Bosner sends it across the boards. The blue line goes around. It's a foot race. Gilberta's going to get there first. Shot, short side, off the pads. Sends it right up front. 13 seconds remaining. Evan Davis poke checks it, keeps it in play, sends it back deep. 5 seconds remaining. Marsh sends it back behind the goal to clear the penalty. Creel comes back out and pucks him back the other direction on a stretch pass. Hard hit by Marsh. Puck sent back out to the corner. Shot. Save. Schmier. 13-14 remaining in the second period. PSD at 1-0. Yale coming out with a little more fire in the second period. PSD comes away with the faceoff. Hits the feet of Crochet. Crochet and Swanson battling now. Crochet trying to get to the pucks safely, but doesn't get boarded. Swanson has the puck, and PSD is going to head. Not sure why they blew the whistle early. Gales are going to go on the power play, but instead of letting them pull goalie, they blew the whistle immediately. Martin, Miller, with the blue line. Jennings, Dunnigan, and Gilberta. Shot on net. Sent wide. Dunnigan has it. Try to control the puck here. Sends it back out to the blue line to Martin. Martin shovels back up to Gilberta. Couldn't hold on to it. Comes back to Jennings. Jennings sends it around to Gilberta. Shot. Loose out front. Do another face-off in the Gales' offensive zone. Gales come away with the face-off win. PSD picks it up behind the net, and it goes the other direction. It's a foot race. James settling it for Martin. Martin. Waves Martin up. Martin brings it in. Hits the post on a shot. Puck comes the other direction. Tritton unable to hold it. Tritton in now. Martin couldn't hold on to it. Waved off. This player could have grabbed it and didn't. Creel and Johnson in now. Cash line in. Johnson sends it into Creel. Creel back to Johnson. Johnson trying to get it to the point. Tritton sends it out to Martin, but just out of reach, and puck sent the other direction. PSD goes for a change. Forward and a defenseman turned over on a stretch pass, picked off. Miller is walking it up across the blue line. Sends it across. Creel crashing the net. Miller sends it back around to Creel. 25 seconds left. Comes out to Martin. Shot. Loose out in front. Creel able to grab the loose change. Puts back with Miller. Miller shot and gloved. "15 seconds remaining in the power play. Marsh, Crochet, and Swanson. PSD sends it out. Evan Davis couldn't hold it at the boards, and it comes back around. That'll pretty much wrap up the power play. Posner has it. Sends it across to Evan Davis. Evan Davis sends it out to Crochet. Across the blue line. Shot. Hits a player. Loose out front. Shot by Evan Davis. Loose out front. Evan Davis sends it around. Swanson tries to turn around. It's held. Crochet sends it back out to Evan Davis. Shot. Tipped by Swanson. Wide. Crochet. Swanson working in the corner. Puck comes back around the net. PSD can scoop that one up and try to go for a breakout. Puck sent airborne, and that's an icing. We're going to come on back the other direction. 10:14 remaining in the second period. Gale's picking up a little bit of momentum here. Score is still 1-0. Shots on net 16-15 in favor of the Gales. Schberta, Jennings, Dunnigan in with Baldy and O'Hara. Gales control it. Shot Baldy. Baldy sends it wide into the corner. Jennings is there. Jennings sends it back out to O'Hara. Shot. Goal! O'Hara to tie it up. Goal in back-to-back games for O'Hara. All right. Gales are in it. Changing up the lines a little bit. Got money line out. Correction. Spancic is in for Creel. O'Hara is still in. It's taken down. PSD dumps it in the zone. Stick went airborne. Not sure. PSD's stick went. Player stick went wide. Tritton now. Shot. Hits the side of the net. Puck comes back around the boards. Baldy's trying to get there before. He does. He keeps it in. Zapancic comes in. Close off the side. Baldy couldn't hold on to it. Johnson sends it in. Pass into the neutral zone. PSD player dodges some hits. Baldy has it. Sends it along the boards, and that's going to be out. It's going to be an icing. And puck's going to come on back. Gale's fired up after getting the tying goal. Martin, Miller, Marsh. Now, for some reason, we're down a player. Swanson a little late to get on the ice. Boys are a little excited, high-fiving. Hayden O'Hara, Crochet in to take the face-off. Puck comes back out to Swanson. Swanson brings the neutral zone. got a clear shot, and gloved by the goalie. Marsh in for the faceoff. Crochet. Center ice for the forwards. PSD comes away with it. Sends it out the side. Through the neutral zone in the middle. Could have hold on to it, so they have to dump it in. Martin presses them. They send it the other direction. Marsh trying to hit Crochet. Marsh kicks it up into the neutral zone. PSD walks it in, and Miller sends it the other direction. DC in hot pursuit. Sends it across. Picked up by Martin. Martin dangles around. Shot. Loose out front. Couldn't get a follow-up shot. Marsh sends it back in the zone. Swanson forced him to send it wide out to Martin. Martin with another shot. Loose out front. Swanson couldn't get a follow-up. And puck's going to come back out to Miller in the neutral zone. Miller sends it back in. Boys are going to tag up. Marsh forcing him to send around. Gilberta gets in there. It's a foot race now to the goal. Martin gets there. Taken down. No penalty. Posner sends it up to Jennings, who lifts the stick and sends it out to Gilberta. Gilberta's got Dunnigan on the side. Shot. Loose out front. Dunnigan crashing the net for what is quite a bit of. It's a lot of opportunities. The goalie isn't grabbing as he hasn't in this game. There's a lot of rebounds available. PSD comes away with the face-off. They send it airborne. Evan Davis racing to the puck. Evan Davis with a stick lift to hold on to it. PSD controls it. Shot, save, Schmier. .7:22 remaining in the second period. Shots on net. 22-16 in favor of the Gales. Game is tied. The goal from Caden O'Hara. PSD opts to send it back behind the goal line. Jennings playing as the third defenseman. Shot. James Schmier able to cover. Fresh legs on both sides for the Gales. Tritton, Zapancic, Creel, Baldy, and O'Hara. Tritton in for the center. PSD controls it. Creel gets in there, comes away with it. Shot! Loose out front. And PSD's able to come away with it. Couldn't clear the zone effectively. Comes back up to O'Hara. O'Hara shovels it back. And PSD opts to send it in. James sends it out to Baldy. Boys can get a stretch pass here if they work on it. Picked off by PSD, but actually makes it all the way in. No icing. Send it around the boards. Tritton couldn't hold on to it. Creel comes in with a solid hit. Just out of reach of Baldy. No icing the other direction. Baldy brings back behind the goal. Sends it the opposite direction. Zapancic couldn't hold on to it. Puck's in the neutral zone. And O'Hara trying to hold it in. Couldn't. Baldy now working. Baldy shovels it up into the neutral zone. 6:05 in the period. PSD regroups. Zapancic almost comes away with that. O'Hara chips it out in the neutral zone. O'Hara holding the PSD player, trying to force him back into the bench. PSD goes for a regroup, misses the pass. Creel's in pursuit. And PSD's headed to the box. Gales are going to go on the power play. 5:36 remaining in the second period. Shots on net. 23-17 in favor of the Gales. Crochet, Marsh, Swanson. Crochet in for the faceoff. Martin and Miller on defense. All right, looks like two players are going to go in. Looks like the player got a misconduct as well. Gales win the face-off. Back to Miller. Miller's shot wide. Goes back to Martin. Martin dingles up. Walks it up. Marsh drops back. Martin brings back behind the goal. Miller thinking about working up to cycle it. Sends it back out to Marsh. Marsh sends it to Miller. Miller couldn't get a shot off. And opposite dump it into the corner to DC. DC Swanson stops it back to Marsh. Marsh tries wrapping around for a goal. Couldn't. Miller able to glove it and hold on to it. Puck in the neutral zone. Miller is able to still hold on to it. Gale's got to tag up, though, as the puck made it in the neutral zone. PSD sends it across, and Martin was able to pick it off in the neutral zone. Shovel it up to DC. DC. Sorry, folks. DC brings it back behind the goal. DC's got a bit of a fan back. Oh! Goal from the blue line. Miller far down with the Gales up 2-1. Power play goal for the Gales. 4:26 remaining in the second period. Puck into the Gales' offensive zone. PSD tries to send it reverse. Evan Davis pitches up, is able to hold on to it, and shovels it back in. PSD trying to find an option, almost picked off by Shiberta. Jennings shovels it around Shiberta on the forecheck, comes away with it. Player tried hitting Shiberta and missed completely. Shot, and Schmier covers. Tritton into the face-off in the Gales' defensive zone. Johnson walks it up for a breakaway the other direction. Shot, and he draws a penalty in the process. PSD heading back to the box. 3:45 remaining in the period. PSD, the player of the misconduct, already in the box. Tritton, Johnson, and Creel with Baldy and O'Hara. Creel sends it out to O'Hara. O'Hara gets another shot, trying to get a second one. Creel sends it back out to Baldy. Baldy shot, hits the post and goes over. O'Hara unable to stop the bouncing puck. Baldy's going to grab it. James Schmier is going to hold it for him. Baldy back behind the goal. Sends it airborne. On net. No ice. Creel and Johnson working. Creel comes away with Tangle in the corner. Sends it across, but picked off. And PSD clears it the other direction. O'Hara back behind the goal. Out to Baldy. Baldy couldn't hold on to it. Goes for a regroup. Creel. Creel dumps it in. Goes for a change. 1 minute remaining. Johnson with a hard hit. PSD tries to clear. Walked in. No stop. Shot. O'Hara loose out front. And goalie sits on it to stop play. Hayden O'Hara having back-to-back games with a goal. With a great blue line stop there before the end of the shift. 2:38 remaining in the second period. 54 seconds left in the power play. Shots on net, 26-18 in favor of the Gales. Crochet into the faceoff. PSD wins it and sends it around the boards. Out to Martin. Miller on the opposing side. Martin's going to walk it up as Marsh Drops back on defense. Puck comes back out to Miller. Miller says no and sends it back around. Crochet. Swanson comes in for support. Brings it around. Sends it back to Martin. Martin to Miller. Miller with a shot. Sent wide by the goalie's pad. Miller able to stop it. Martin sends it out to Crochet. Crochet passes it out to Marsh, but hits the player. His feet. Puck out of reach. Very wobbly puck. DC. And that's going to be no icing. 4 seconds left on the penalty kill for the PSD. James sends it out to Miller. Miller out to Swanson. Swanson dangles around. Shot wide of the net. Marsh into the opposing direction. Miller pinches up into the corner and sends it out to Marsh. Miller with another shot and gloved. Yells up 2-1. Sorry, folks. Need to adjust the score here. Got excited about the goals and forgot to put them on the new scoreboard. All right, 2-1. Both goals from the blue line from the defense. Jennings dingles around here. Sends it back out to the blue line. Evan Davis with a shot just over the net. Comes back out to Posner. Posner pitches up. Is able to hold it. Send it back in. Puck comes back across. Davis drops back, though. Gilberta shovels it up to Jennings. He's got Dunnigan at center. Dunnigan with a shot. Hits a bunch of players. Jennings walks it up. Gilberta does. Posner nails it. Hits a player. 42 seconds remaining. PSD clears the other direction. Evan Davis is going to get there. Chips it back up to Jennings. Jennings going for a regroup. Posner out to Dunnigan. Dunnigan's going to bring it to the blue zone. Gets hit. He gets it deep. We're trying to hit someone in the center. Just out of reach. Posner regroups. He's going to chip it up. Picked off by PSD and shoveled up and out. Evan Davis gets to Posner. Posner. That's Jennings. 7 seconds left in the period. Puck comes back across. And it's going to be a nice 1.3 seconds left. It'll be a face-off. See if they want to pull the goalie here. Looks like we're going to be Trenton with a shot right off the face-off. Couldn't get it off. Yale's opted to keep 5 players on. Occasionally you'll see a coach pull the goalie when there's only about a second left. Pull the goalie and throw a 6-man. Pick up any rebounds and have the center take a shot right off the face-off. All right. 2-1. The Gales, with a slow start beginning the game, defense holding it down. Shots on net, 27-18 in favor of the Gales. Goals so far the game, Miller and O'Hara. 2 goals now for O'Hara in 2 games. All right, kicking off the third period. Fresh 15 minutes up on the board. Gales need to increase their lead here. Money line out for your forwards. O'Hara and Baldian on defense. Gales control the face-off. And Johnson with a shot that gets gloved by the goalie. Tritton into the faceoff, wins it, sends it back out to the blue line. O'Hara dumps it back deep. Chipped up. Johnson trying to find a passing lane. Creel pinches. O'Hara couldn't hold on to it. We got a 2-on-1 the other direction with Baldy. Back checking is Tritton. Puck comes back across. It's loose out front. Shoveled up. Creel. Creel sends it up to Tritton. We got a forecheck the other direction now. Creel bouncing puck. Johnson to his left. Couldn't land it. Shot by Miller now, who's in. Miller and Martin both coming in during the rush. Comes back out. Martin and Miller now just sharing shots. And if they miss, it circles back around to the other one. Miller with a stretch pass out to Johnson. Johnson working back behind the goal line. Trying to hit the point. Had a stick hit his on the way over. Martin now gets a stick on there and is able to pin him to the boards. Johnson unable to clear. Creel's able to separate it. Johnson a little too much on that one. Puck's coming back on an icing call. Boucher into the faceoff. Evan Davis, Swanson, Marsh. And Posner. Schmier sends it wide. Shot from the blue line. Boucher gets sticking there. Puck's loose out in front. Puck checked out by Posner. Sent back in, though. Shot. Cross. Couldn't land anything on the PSD side. Player loses the puck. Crochet sends it out to Marsh. Marsh gets stick lifted as it's going through the zone. Marsh regains possession. Shot off the goalie's pads and up and over. PSD loses it. Comes back across at the blue line. Marsh is going to walk it back in. Shot. Short side. Puck comes back out to O'Hara. O'Hara sends it. Hits a player on the way over. Evan Davis is able to maintain possession. He's going to walk it in the other direction. He wants one too. Defense holding down the scoring so far in the game. 12:39 remaining in the third period. Gorman up 2-1. Shots on net, 29-18 in favor of the Gales. Jennings in with Schaberta and Dunnigan. Shot on net, wide. Dunning heading into the boards. Couldn't hold on to the puck. So he's battling two players. Baldy chips it up to Stepancic. Stepancic trying to chip it out. Had an odd bounce to it. Puck's in the corner with Baldy. Baldy hits, dumps it on the glass. Comes back in. Stepancic poaches it. He's going to walk in the other direction. He's got speed. Shot. Loose out front. Dunnigan unable to get a shot off. Jennings able to get a stop. PSD coming back the other direction. Stepancic with a hard hit. Shot blocked by O'Hara. O'Hara goes in for a hit as well. Hits are on the menu too. Jennings and Stepancic. Jennings is going to walk it in. Shot. Loose out front. Stepancic couldn't get there in time. Puck's coming back the other direction. Shot. Schmier sends it wide. Gales chip it up, set the blue line. Dunnigan coming off. Jennings trying to find an option. So I'm going to hold it until we got 11 minutes and 30 seconds. We can do this as long as we want. Creel in. And that's going to be an icing. Tritton, Johnson, Creel, the M&M line, and the money line. And Tritton feeds it back to the blue line. Martin fakes a shot, decides to walk it up, does shoot it, hits through the crease, Just wide of the net, comes back out to Johnson. Johnson and Creel both working together. Johnson brings around the board, sends it to Creel, or to Tritton, sorry. Martin dumps it back into the corner. Johnson sends it to Tritton, sends it to Creel, couldn't get a shot off. Tritton brings it back into the corner, shrugs off the defenseman, sends it out to Johnson. Johnson working the opposing direction. Tritton with a shot, hits a player, it's loose out front, and PSD clears into the neutral zone, and they're going to go for a change. Martin sends it out to Creel. Creel chips it up to Tritton. Picked off, though. Creel able to deflect that shot, that breakout, I mean. Cash Johnson brings it around. Creel comes in for support. Creel is going to come away with it. He's pinned himself. Out to Cash Johnson. PSD gets possession. Struggling with the breakout pass. Evan Davis trying to send it back in, but it comes the other direction. No icing. Closer sends it around the boards to Marsh. Marsh trying to get it out. Had to avoid the too many men penalty. Marsh with a stick lift. Trying to keep a shot from happening. Comes back around. Shot, short side. Schmier with the save and the post. Puck come back the other direction. Swanson and Crochet. Swanson dumps it in, gets held up by two players. No call. And O'Hara now. Baldy fakes dumping it and then decides to dump it. Tried to gloving it, couldn't. Crochet dingles around, couldn't get a shot off. Swanson has it in the corner. Sends it around to Marsh, just out of his reach zone. PSD is going to pick it up and send it to the neutral zone. O'Hara's going to send it back in. Interference. PSD is going to be heading back to the box. And the PSD player serving misconduct out of the box with the stoppage. Gale's going on another power play. Jennings, Chaberta, Zapancic, Martin, and Miller coming in. 9:06 left in the third period. Jennings comes away with the puck, tries sending it over. Puck comes back out to Chaberta. Chaberta out to Miller. We're trying to maintain possession. Shot and gloved by the goalie. 8:48 remaining in the game. 1:43 in the power play. PSD trying to get a brick out the other direction, couldn't. Jennings trying to get, Zapancic trying to get a shot off, but his head is stick lifted. Martin pinches up, holds it at the blue line. Zapancic gets to work. Puck comes back into the corner. They try clearing. Martin unable to hold, and puck's going the other direction. As PSD clears it, PSD goes for a change. Stretch pass from Miller to Chaberta was picked off and sent back in. Martin now bringing it up. Martin stops, sends it out to Jennings. Chaberta's going to get there. Shot, short side, and covered by the goalie. 8:01 in the period. 56 seconds in the power play. Defensive change. Baldy, O'Hara, and the money line. PSD coach yelling something. All right. Back to Baldy. Baldy chips it around. Loose out front. Tritton sends it over to Johnson. Johnson shot. Hits the pads and goes wide. Creel now has it. Sends it back out to O'Hara. O'Hara with one already. Off to send it to Baldy. Baldy shot just wide. O'Hara not able to pinch up. The puck came around before he can get to it. O'Hara's bringing it across. Sends it out to Baldy. Baldy chips it up to Johnson. Johnson sends it into the corner where Tritton is. PSD sends it around the boards. Held in by Baldy. Chipped up. Baldy skates along the boards. Able to hold it. Still in the zone. Baldy. Sorry, Creel goes down. The scrum. And stoppage of play. Three seconds left in the power play. Face off in the neutral zone. Crochet, Swanson, Marsh. Crochet in at center. Puck comes back out to Davis. Davis chips it in. Gloved. Almost the other direction by Marsh. Swanson, the chip to himself. Dingles around. He's on the forecheck. Shot. Wide. Comes back out to the blue line. Posner gets hit at the blue line. Puck comes back the other direction. Evan Davis. James Schmier sends the shot up and over. 6:28 left in the period. Swanson chips it up and around. That's going to be offsides. PSD is going to have to tag up. Evan Davis sends it across. Swanson goes in for a hit. Marsh comes in, comes away with it. Shot. James Schmier. Save. Schmier with a follow-up save. Evan Davis and Marsh working together along the boards. Puck comes out to the blue line. Gibberta, the forecheck the other direction. Shot. And save. PSD. 5:45 remaining. Even strength. Shots on net. 34-21 in favor of the Gales. Jennings, Gibberta, and Dunnigan, Martin, and Miller at the blue line. Jennings is able to tip it, gets tripped up. Refs aren't calling much as far as tripping. Miller's going to walk it up and tingled up with Gibberta, and that's going to be offsides. Jennings in for the faceoff, wins it. Dunny sends it to the defense, and Martin's going to bring it up. Shot. Hits a stick and goes into the netting. Let's see where they spot the puck here. 5:18 remaining in the third period. And yes, the scoreboard is accurate. 2-1 in favor of Gorman. Jennings in for the faceoff. Looks like they're going to send the Stars, PSD Stars player away. PSD wins it and sends it down to their own corner. Miller with a shot. Gets picked off. Chips it up and around. Martin. All right, Martin brings it around. Sends it around to Gibberta, just out of his reach, though. Turned over in the center. Comes back out to the blue line. Gales really need to adjust their play here. They can't. Hold up. Players are getting a little tired. But Gibberta's going to bring it the other direction. It's a 2-on-1 with Jennings. Sends it across Jennings. Jennings with a shot. Loose out front. Player hit Jennings' stick as he tried sending it. Gibberta stops it, but it comes back out to Baldy. Baldy hits the scoreboard. For a stoppage of play. Looks like we're going to do this out here outside Gale's defensive zone. Money line. O'Hara, Baldy. Gales winning the faceoff. Still in the zone, though, and turn it over. Shot. Who's up front? James with the save. Baldy presses him to the boards. Fritton comes in for support. O'Hara holding out the crease. Puck out of the blue line and sent into the corner. PSD picks it up, sends it in the center. Creel picks it up, though. Sends it out to Johnson. Johnson couldn't hold on to it. Fritton, though. Shovels it in. PSD goes for a regroup. 3:50 remaining. Britton picks it off. Baldy holds it for Creel. Walks it in and dumps it. O'Hara loses an edge. Is able to prevent and break out the other direction. Puck comes back out. O'Hara clears. And it's going to be offsides. Friendly word shared between the two teams as they skate to their respective benches. 3:21 left in the third period. Shea in at center. It's got Marsh and Swanson. PSD controls it, tries sending it in, hits their own player. And Swanson for a dump of Jace. Sends back at the blue line. Martin sends it back deep. Loose out front. Need one more. Swanson with a shot. And the goalie able to get the save and cover. Gills battling. Puck loose out front. Swanson taken down. Puck still in the zone. Crochet feeds it up to Marsh. Marsh to DC. Shot. And stuck. Puck goes out into the netting. We're going to bring the faceoff back out here, I think, for the follow-up pressing on the goalie. Jay wins the faceoff. Sent to Miller. Miller to Martin. Martin walks it over towards the boards. PSD brings it in. Pass across. Tried sending it. Picked off by Crochet. Sorry, folks. And it's out into the neutral zone. And back in. Marsh able to get a stick and lift in there. Puck come the other direction. Marsh sends it. Bouncing puck just to the left of the goal. Marsh gets a stick in there, battling. Still. Zupancic comes in, picks up the puck, loose at his feet. Puck comes back out to O'Hara. O'Hara with the shot, just to the left of the net. 2:04 remaining. PSD chips it up, out of reach. Yale send it back the other direction, out of reach. Jennings forces a regroup. Baldy gets a stick on it. O'Hara there to clean it up and get it out. Zupancic sends it out. Dunnigan in pursuit. And he sends it in. Zupancic battling in the corner. Dunnigan comes in to join him. Jennings now. Jennings able to get a steal. PSD player loses the puck. Jennings scoops it up. Sends it. Goes wide. O'Hara on the rush. Comes back. Is tripped up. No call. Dunnigan now gets a stick in there. Jennings battling. Puck's loose. Tread clearing. It's still in the zone. Turned over. 50 seconds remaining. Martin shovels it up to Creel. Creel ices it. As momentum was not going their direction. Gale's trying to finish out the game. It's going to start with a face-off in the Gale's defensive zone. PSD pulling their goalie as they come out of the timeout here. Gales looking for a strong finish. At this point, don't worry about the empty net. If you get pressed, just dump it. All right. 42.8 seconds remaining. Closing out the period. Johnson, Jennings, Tritton, Martin, and Miller. 6-on-5, empty net the other direction. Gales loses control of the puck in center. PSD chips it back to the blue line. Shot. Goes wide. Off a player, nowhere to the other corner. PSD sends it deep. Tritton forces him to dump it back. Martin chips it up and out. And that's going to be an icing. 22.4 seconds left in the third period. Good clear by Martin. 20 seconds killed. Jennings taking the face off. Ref give him some advice, I think. Let's see here. PSD comes away with control of the puck. It's at the blue line. Shot. A lot of traffic in front. Put a body to stop it. Puck shot. And just left of the net. 9.8 seconds remaining in the third period. Sorry, folks, that was a quick spin. Wanted to catch empty net goal. Go ahead and take your Dramamine now. Happens again, we're going to fly to the other side. Puck loose, comes out to the blue line. Jennings chips it up. 2 seconds left. And actually, they're going to go ahead and call it. Hold on. Looks like they're going to put a couple seconds back on the board. Ref blew the whistle just before. See what they put back on the clock. PSD bench wanted 3 seconds. Sounds like he's not going to get the full 3. Waiting for the clock to come back. Stars stacking center of the ice, no one along the wall. Let's wait and see. All right, we're going to do this the best way. Puck. Game over. Stars walking away with the first loss for the weekend. Gales up now 2-0 for the weekend. Defense holding it down with goals from Caden O'Hara, Matt Miller. Double check here, make sure they didn't assign that goals to anybody else. Let's see what they put on for the stats here. Jennings comes away with an assist. Matt Miller with a goal. Caden O'Hara with a goal. And Dunnigan with an assist. All right, folks. That wraps it up for the day. Next game is tomorrow. against the Tri-Valley Blue Devils. Game is at 9:35 a.m. Pacific time. As a heads up, I will be a little late to that game due to my other child having some competition stuff of her own that I got to be there for. So as soon as I'm done over there, I will be rushing over to the rink to set up, and we'll get the game up and streaming. Blue Devils so far have only played one game of the tournament, where they played the Las Vegas Ice Warriors Select. Select coming away with a 12-0 win Friday night. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.